So, like, when did you guys hear about this coronavirus? Like, at what point were you like, oh, this is, like, legit, like, I'm kind of screwed. Quarantine season.
Well, I mean, when I guess like in CCR, when we started like really like when we had that like one show that was almost like fully dedicated to it because Steve said he thought I don't know, Steve made the big prediction. He was like, I think this is going to get really big, and we were like, oh God, we need to cover the coronavirus again. And then
Whole
we
semester.
had that whole
semester.
Yeah. And then we had that one show that it was like almost all coronavirus stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
That was when I was like, okay, this might be something.
Was that the Taco Bell episode?
It was the Taco Bell
It
episode.
was beautiful
Taco
Taco
Bell.
Bell.
It was
The
like
one
the
light
one
is
outlier.
such a-
It was the one outlier was Taco Bell.
Corona. Taco Bell.
Taco Bell. Crunch Wrap.
That was hilarious. I knew. Go ahead.
I'll say it didn't even like hit me until after spring break for me, because I was in Florida, and like there was like that Wednesday of spring break is when like all the sports canceled and colleges like canceled their semesters or at least postponed them at that point. But I was like in spring break mode, so I didn't even like really process it. And then when I got home and saw how serious it was, and that's when it hit me.
Well, so I was in the mountains of North Carolina with Jada and her family, and we were up there, and there was no cell phone signal. And so I'd get like the occasional Instagram. It's like, oh, the NBA is thinking about stopping. And I'm like, okay, coronavirus. And then I get home, and there's like nothing, like no toilet paper, no canned goods, anything. I'm like, what happened here? Like, in the mountains, it's totally fine.
Right, yeah.
Totally fine.
I knew it got serious when I was supposed to go to Vietnam for international reporting, and then they had been talking about like one trip got canceled, but they were stopping through China, and that was like, okay, that makes sense. They're stopping through where the virus was at the time. Of course, that's canceled, but ours was going through Dubai. So I was like, oh, we're fine. I strolled into class like literally the day before we're supposed to leave, and I'm like, we're going to Vietnam. Who's ready? And they're like, I think it was Jack Hirsch goes, should we tell him? And he goes, they have to cancel. And I was like, no, I literally said, no, you guys are, Adam, I don't know if I can cuss on your podcast. I said, no, you guys are effing.
Go ahead.
I said, no fucking way. You guys are got to be fucking with me in front of Dr. O'Toole and everybody. And they're like, no, like, we're serious. We just canceled it. I was like, what? And so as soon as I stormed out of class, I just called my mom. I was like, we're not going to freaking Vietnam anymore. And she was like, oh, that's crazy. I was like, yeah, I get, but then we both knew it's obviously because it's getting serious. And so that's why it was serious. But all my friends were still planning on going on their spring break trips and all that. Like I talked to Noah, and he was going to Florida. I was like, okay. Like, are you sure? I was like, guys, it's getting pretty serious. Like, they just canceled my Vietnam trip. All my friends in Acacia were like, dude, it's fine. We're going to Cabo. We're going home. I was like, I don't know. And that's
at that point, like the international stuff, like was a question. I don't know why people still went to Mexico, but I thought I was doing nothing wrong going to Florida. Little did I know.
I was in Florida too over spring break, and it was like, well, I went to Disney with my family, and looking back at it now, it's actually kind of crazy that we were in these like theme parks jammed with people, and like rooms jammed with people. And looking at that now, like you couldn't even imagine doing that right now. The fact that we did it then when things were really just starting to ramp up was.
It's honestly probably a good reason why it got so bad, because it was spring break. So many people from different parts of the country were there, and they all went back to their respective parts of the country.
Right. And we started seeing it like a couple weeks after is when things were getting deadly really bad. So that could totally be a huge reason.
Yeah, I mean, when I first noticed it was when I was on spring break. I'm sorry, when I was on the cruise. I went to a cruise ship from Key West and then to Cozumel, Mexico. So I'm in the ocean the whole time, so I wasn't allowed to be on my phone. So I had no idea what was going on. And like I heard like little stuff here and there.
That's
and
wild.
Then I turned my phone off airplane mode when I got back. I was like, what the hell happened in this week, dude? Like,
it's like that meme. What the hell happened here? Like,
and like it was just so weird, dude. Like no, like, but I'm telling you, dude, I think on the cruise ship was by far the best quarantine ever, dude. Like everything from rails to the floors was just deep cleaned every day. Everything got fed to you. Like you were like pampered on that thing because of this.
Did you be saying that 51 days later like these other guys?
I just asked my friend who I went with. We got lucky. Like I
Yeah,
would
what
not.
if you were still on that
yeah,
cruise ship right
yeah.
now?
If you went a week later,
That
you'd
would
still
suck.
be
If
out
you went a
there.
week later, you'd still be on that cruise ship.
I would've-
Yeah.
You know who I feel bad for? For everyone that their spring break was the week after ours.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially,
yeah,
did you see
yeah.
like those kids that like
Oh,
that
dude,
blew up?
yeah.
That they got interviewed in Florida, and they were like, "Oh, we're just trying to
Yeah,
enjoy our
yeah,
spring break,"
yeah.
and they got roasted alive.
I mean, because they were stupid. Look at the kids.
That was dumb.
They
That
were
was
stupid.
kind of
journalists,
dumb.
They were
we
stupid,
know they
but-
got the dumbest looking, most fucked up kids to go on camera, and we know that
They
that's what
They
they
did. They
Oh,
definitely.
absolutely.
Yeah,
hold on.
Absolutely.
I
They
would
were
do
very-
that. Duh.
They were very stupid. But if I'm being honest, if that were my trip, if like 3 days before my
It's tough.
trip they said that, I would love to think
Yeah,
I would cancel it, but like I don't know if I would.
Dude, I
Yeah.
don't think I was gonna cancel. I really don't because like I didn't buy the insurance for this. I paid for it out of my own pocket. Like I was like pumped for this. Like I was
Yeah.
I would risk it. But like
Yeah, my friend from home, she flew to Europe. They go to a bunch of my friends go to NAU, so she flew to Europe, was there for less than a day, and then got turned around and had to fly her ass home.
Wow.
what's funny
That's crazy.
what's funny about that is my friend, he also went to Europe. And like people were, everyone's asking like, "Are you scared?" He's like, "No, I don't give a shit. Like I'm cool, right?" And then he got there, and he was like, "Well, dude, they're banning us. Like we have to go right back." Like he was stuck in Europe for a little bit until he got back. It was hilarious, but like everyone told him it was gonna happen.
Sorry.
Bless you.
Thank you. It's allergy season.